My daughter-in-law looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You're the reason he hates his life." She pushed my birthday gift off the table and told me to leave. My son said nothing, just turned away. That night, I swore I'd make her feel the pain she gave me. I'm a 63-year-old widow. My name's Teresa, and I live just outside Lexington, Kentucky. I spent most of my life working as a librarian at the high school, raised my only child Derek with my husband before cancer took him 10 years ago. Since then, it's just been me. I kept going by doing what I always do: cook, keep things tidy, show up for the people I love. Derek was my everything. He always was. When his dad died, he leaned on me. We had a strong bond, stronger than most. I was proud of that. He'd call me every week, stop by for dinner, tell me when he was stressed or sad. I never pushed, never asked for too much. Just wanted to be there. Then Kylie came along. I remember the first time I met her. It was a Sunday. Derek brought her by without much notice. Said he'd been seeing someone new and wanted me to meet her. She was polite at first, thin smile, quick handshake, but there was this vibe I couldn't shake. She acted like she was doing me a favor by being there. Didn't ask me any questions. Barely made eye contact. Looked at her phone every 5 minutes. Still, I told myself not to judge. Maybe she was just shy. Maybe she didn't know how to act around an older woman. I even defended her to my sister after the visit, saying, "She's just young, that's all." 6 months later, Derek tells me they got married at the courthouse. No wedding. No warning. No invitation. Just a text that said, "Hey Mom, we got married yesterday. Thought you should know." I cried in the shower that night. I know I sound dramatic, but when you raise someone and put everything you have into them, and they cut you out of a moment that big, it breaks something. Still, I kept trying. I brought them a crock-pot with some meals. I asked if they needed help unpacking when they moved into their condo in Georgetown. Kylie said, "We've got it under control. We're not kids." Like me offering to help was some kind of insult. She didn't want me around. That much was clear early on. Derek started pulling away too. No more Sunday dinners. Fewer phone calls. And when I did reach out, I got short replies or none at all. I could feel myself getting phased out, like I was a problem they were trying to solve. And then came my birthday. I hadn't heard from Derek in almost a month. Then out of nowhere, he texted, "Come by for dinner Friday." I was so happy I cried. I made his favorite chicken pot pie from scratch. I even made him a little photo album. Just a homemade gift, something meaningful. Pictures of him with his dad, me, our old dog, all the holidays we spent together. I stayed up late finishing it. When I got to their place, Kylie opened the door. She didn't smile. Didn't say happy birthday. Just opened the door and walked away. Derek was sitting on the couch. He looked empty. Not angry. Not sad. Just tired. He barely glanced at me when I said hello. We sat at the table, and it was silent. I tried to make conversation. Told a story about the neighbor's cat getting stuck in the garage. Kylie didn't laugh. Didn't look up from her phone. I pulled out the album and said, "I made this for you. I know it's a little old-fashioned, but I thought you might." Before I could finish, Kylie reached over, took the album, and dropped it on the floor. Not like she bumped it by accident. She did it on purpose. Then she looked at me and said, "You're the reason he hates his life." She said it slow. Clear. With this smug look on her face like she'd been waiting to say it. I turned to Derek. He didn't say a word. Didn't look at me. Didn't shake his head. Didn't defend me. He just turned his face away like he couldn't stand to see me. I asked, "Derek, is that true?" He still said nothing. Kylie stood up, picked up the wrapped gift I brought, and tossed it off the table. It landed with a thud next to the album. Then she said, "We invited you here to ask you to stop coming around. You're not part of this family anymore." My mouth went dry. I felt hot and cold all at once. I tried to speak but nothing came out. I picked up the album and the gift, turned around, and walked out. No one said goodbye. That night I sat in my kitchen with the pie, untouched. My hands shook. I stared at the photo album. All those years, birthdays, school plays, late nights with the flu, and now I was nothing. But the longer I sat there, the more a thought started to form. They wanted to make me feel small. Invisible. But I raised that boy. I knew him better than anyone. I knew how to get through to him. And I knew, deep down, Kylie was the one pulling the strings. She wanted me gone. Fine. But she'd learn exactly what it felt like to be shut out. Dismissed. Replaced. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to break her. Quietly. One crack at a time. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the dark with a notebook in front of me, just writing. I made a list. Not of ways to hurt her, that's not who I am, but of truths. Of things I knew. Weak spots. Habits. Patterns. Things only a mother would notice over time. See, Kylie wanted to push me out, but she forgot one thing: Derek didn't always used to act like this. He changed. Slowly. Right after they got married. I knew what that meant. I knew how people like her operate. Control. Isolation. Guilt. So I decided I wasn't going to go after her the loud way. I wasn't going to scream in the middle of a parking lot or post on Facebook like some angry ex-mother-in-law. No. I was going to be patient. I was going to make her look like the problem. The way she made me look like one. It started small. I called Derek's office. I still remembered the receptionist, Janet, sweet lady. I asked if Derek had been in that week. She said, "No, he's been taking a lot of personal days lately." Everything all right at home? That told me something. Kylie had been making it sound like they were doing great. Like they were moving up in life. But he was skipping work. Hiding. That wasn't my son. He used to love his job. I kept asking around. Called his old co-worker, Rob, who used to come to barbecues. He said Derek had stopped coming to fantasy football. That he looked miserable the last time anyone saw him. Next, I mailed Derek a letter. Not a text. Not an email. A real letter, in my handwriting. Something personal. I wrote, "I don't know who told you to cut me out. I don't know what lies were told about me. But I know you. And this isn't you. You don't have to explain. Just know that I'm still here. And I still love you, even if you hate me right now." I never got a reply. But 2 weeks later, I got a call. From a blocked number. I answered. It was Derek. His voice was quiet. Shaky. "Mom, are you okay?" I said, "I've been better." He didn't say much. Just that he got my letter. That he was sorry. That Kylie didn't know he was calling. That told me everything. She was watching him. Controlling even his phone. We talked for maybe 5 minutes. I didn't push. I just listened. Told him I missed him. And before he hung up, he said something that stuck with me. "She told me you only wanted to manipulate me. That you were trying to ruin our marriage. I don't know what to believe anymore." That's when I knew. Kylie had been planting poison in his ear from the start. So I changed my approach. I got quiet. I disappeared. I stopped calling. I stopped dropping by. I stopped sending birthday cards. At first, it probably felt like a win to her. Like she got what she wanted. But here's the thing about people like Kylie: when they don't have someone to blame, they start to unravel. 3 months later, I heard from my friend Karen at the church thrift store that Kylie had come in, furious, throwing a fit because someone gave her the wrong tone. Said she was snapping at everyone, acting like she was about to explode. I smiled to myself. I knew the cracks were forming. Then came the real break. One afternoon, I was grocery shopping at Kroger when I ran into Derek's old college friend, Mason. He looked uncomfortable the second he saw me. He said, "Teresa, I don't want to get in the middle of anything, but I think you should know. Kylie's been messaging someone I know. A guy. Late at night. Real flirty." I didn't even blink. I just said, "Can you show me?" He did. He had screenshots. Messages. Her calling him handsome, saying she needed someone who understood her. The guy didn't respond much, but it was enough. Now I had what I needed. I wasn't going to use it yet. Not until I was sure Derek was ready to see it. Otherwise, she'd just spin it. Call it fake. Blame me. So I waited. And then Derek showed up at my door. Middle of the day. No warning. He looked 10 pounds lighter. His eyes were dark, tired. He didn't even say hello. He just stood in my doorway and whispered, "Mom, I think I made a huge mistake." I let him in. I made coffee. We sat in silence for a while before he started talking. He said Kylie had been treating him like trash. That she told him where he could go, who he could talk to, how long he could be gone. That she called him weak, boring, lazy. She even threatened to leave him if he didn't cut me out completely. And worse, he believed her. 4 months. I thought she loved me, he said. But I don't even know who she is anymore. That's when I slid the envelope across the table. The screenshots. The proof. He read every word. Said nothing. Then slowly put his head in his hands. He didn't cry. He just sat there. And I could feel the anger building in him. Not loud. But deep. Quiet. Cold. He stood up and said, "I'm going to fix this." I asked, "What are you going to do?" He said, "Whatever it takes." And I believed him. Derek stayed with me that night. He didn't say much after he left the table. He just walked into the guest room like he used to when he was a teenager, laid down on his side, and stared at the wall. I didn't ask questions. I just let him be. I made him eggs and toast in the morning. He barely touched it, but he said, "Thanks, Mom," and kissed my forehead before heading out. That was the first kiss I'd gotten from my son in over a year. I didn't hear from him for 3 days. I didn't ask. I knew he needed time to figure out how to handle it. Kylie wasn't the type you could just walk away from. She'd make it messy. Loud. She'd twist the story. Make him feel like the villain for trying to leave. But on the 4th day, he came back. This time he had a duffel bag. And a folder. He sat down at my kitchen table, opened the folder, and said, "I want to make sure she can't touch me when this is over." Inside were copies of all their joint accounts, text records, credit card statements, and something I didn't expect, a prenup. Apparently, she'd insisted on it. Which was strange, considering she had less money than he did. But there it was, with both their signatures. It said that in case of infidelity, the cheater gets nothing. No condo, no spousal support, no car, not even the savings. Derek looked at me and said, "She didn't think I'd ever use this. But now I've got reason." I told him, "You sure about this?" He nodded. "She broke me, Mom. I don't even recognize myself anymore." What he didn't know was that I'd already done some work behind the scenes. Quiet work. After our last conversation, I'd sent those screenshots to an old friend of mine who used to work in family law, Rhonda. She cleaned them up, attached metadata, made sure there was a clean digital trail. No room for Kylie to say they were fake. Every message had a time stamp. Every photo had a source. Rhonda even offered to help Derek get a temporary restraining order if things went sideways. So when Derek said he wanted out, I was ready. But here's the twist, Kylie already knew. Because she'd bugged his car. I found out from Derek later that same week. He'd been driving around town, making calls to his lawyer, Rhonda, and even to a therapist he was thinking of seeing. One day he noticed something under his passenger seat, a little black device, blinking. A tracker. Audio, too. He brought it to a tech guy, who confirmed what it was. Kylie had been listening in. He was furious. But not surprised. She's been 5 steps ahead this whole time, he said. I was stupid. I told him, you weren't stupid. You were in love. But now we had to act faster. The game had changed. She'd be planning something. And she was. 2 days later, Derek came home to find the condo half empty. The TV, the silverware, some of the furniture, all gone. Kylie was gone too. No note. Just a divorce petition dropped on the kitchen table with a yellow post-it that said, "Hope your mommy can cook you through this." The same night, his bank account was drained. Nearly $12,000 gone. All charges made that day, 2 plane tickets, luxury clothes, cash withdrawal. We filed a police report the next morning. His lawyer put in an emergency freeze on the accounts, but it was too late. The money was already moved. Likely into an account under someone else's name. It was theft. But she was clever. She used the joint card. Legally, she could claim she had access. That's when I called Rhonda again. She said, if Kylie wants a war, we'll give her one. Over the next 3 weeks, we built a case. Documented everything. Messages, bank records, audio logs. We even got video from a hotel where she was seen with the man she'd been messaging. She used Derek's joint credit card to book the room. Dumb move. It turns out the guy wasn't just some fling. He was married. With a kid. And his wife? She was furious. She called me personally. Said she'd been watching Kylie's Instagram and TikTok and recognized her car in the background of one of her husband's work trips. We shared what we had. The wife, Angela, shared her own. They were now in it together. 2 women, both pushed aside, used, and lied to. We had motive, evidence, and fire. And then Kylie made her final mistake. She came to my house. Middle of the day. No warning. Just banged on my door like she was the sheriff. When I opened it, she walked right in without asking. "You think you've won?" she said. "You think getting him back means you'll get away with this?" I didn't respond. She started pacing. "You poisoned him against me. You always hated me. You couldn't stand that he loved someone more than you." I said, "You did that all on your own." She walked up to me, real close. Said, "You're nothing, Teresa. Just a lonely, bitter old woman with no life. That's why you clung to him like a parasite." I didn't flinch. I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "You should leave now. Before you say something you'll regret in court." She smiled. Then she slapped me. Full force. Across the face. And that's when Derek stepped out from the hallway. He'd been staying with me all week. He saw the whole thing. Didn't say a word. Just held up his phone. Recorded every second. Kylie froze. "You're done," he said. "Go." And she did. Because she knew, this time, there was no twisting the truth. The slap gave Derek everything he needed. We had the screenshots. The bank records. The hotel video. The cheating. The car tracker. But now we had physical assault, recorded in clear sound and video. She hit me while threatening me. And she didn't know Derek was standing there watching it all. That was her final mistake. The next morning, we went to the police station and filed assault charges. Derek gave them the video. My cheek was still red. The officer said, "We'll issue a summons. Might even pick her up, depending on the judge." Rhonda filed a restraining order that same day. Kylie was not allowed near me or Derek until the divorce was over. And then came the real hit. Derek's lawyer filed for divorce under the clause in the prenup, infidelity. With the evidence of the affair and the charges against her, she wouldn't get a dime. Not the condo. Not the car. Nothing. She couldn't even touch the rest of his bank account now that the judge had frozen it during proceedings. We knew Kylie would fight back. She did. She went on social media and posted videos calling me abusive. Claimed Derek was brainwashed. Said I was a bitter old widow who hated that her son found someone better. She said I stalked them. That I forced Derek to cut off his healthy marriage. The comments poured in. People believed her at first. She cried in the videos. Made it sound like I was the devil. But she forgot, she had enemies now. She left a trail. Angela, the wife of the man Kylie was cheating with, had everything. And when she saw Kylie's videos, she snapped. She sent all the proof, Kylie's messages, hotel receipts, even a voicemail where Kylie said, "He doesn't know. I'll leave him when I get enough to start over." Angela leaked it all online. One by one, the comments under Kylie's posts turned. People called her a liar. A manipulator. Screenshots flooded in. Videos of her trashing waitresses, yelling at a neighbor, mocking a disabled woman in the background of a TikTok. She'd built her whole image on being sweet, just misunderstood. That image crumbled. Kylie lost over 30,000 followers in 1 week. Then, her job found out. She was doing social media and marketing for a local boutique chain. They fired her the same day. Put out a statement, "We do not condone or support the behavior recently displayed by one of our former employees." The world was turning on her. And the legal system wasn't far behind. The court moved fast. Derek was awarded full control of their condo. She was ordered to move out within 10 days. She tried to stall. Claimed she had nowhere to go. But her own credit card statements showed she'd spent over $3,000 in 1 week at spas and designer stores. The judge didn't buy it. The day she left the condo, she threw one last tantrum. Trashed the guest bathroom. Poured bleach on his suits. Left food to rot in the vents. But Derek had taken photos of the whole place beforehand. He submitted them to the court. She was held responsible for property damage and had to pay him back over $8,000. She tried to file a counterclaim. Claimed emotional distress. Said I had attacked her reputation. But we had the slap on video. We had her texts. We had her Instagram rants. She lost. Hard. The judge called her a calculated and manipulative party whose actions caused her own downfall. Her credit was ruined. Her name was trash online. Her job history now had "fired for misconduct" on record. As for the guy she cheated with, his wife divorced him too. Took the kid. Took the house. He tried to reach out to Kylie after, but she ghosted him. Derek moved back into the condo. Quiet at first. He started therapy. Went back to work. Reconnected with friends. He came over every Sunday again. Just like before. But something was different in me. I had won, yes. I had protected my son. I had gotten revenge, justice, all of it. But deep down, I hated that I had to become this person. That I had to plan, record, fight like that just to keep my son from being destroyed. So I told Derek something one night, after dinner. I said, I'm sorry. For not speaking up sooner. For letting her push me out so easily. I should have fought harder from the beginning. He said, no, Mom. You did what I needed. You gave me space. Then you gave me truth. And when I was ready, you gave me strength. Now, every time he walks into my kitchen and hugs me first, I know one thing for sure. She thought I'd walk away. But I didn't. I watched. I waited. And when the time came, I made sure she felt every ounce of the pain she threw at me. And she'll keep feeling it. Because when you destroy a mother's heart, don't be surprised when she uses what's left of it to bury you.